Welcome to Physical Education for SS1 at Light Tech Academy. Today we study the effects of exercise on the body. Introduction. Exercise causes immediate, acute changes in the body during and just after exercise, as well as long-term, chronic adaptations in the body when exercise is performed regularly over time. Understanding these effects helps us appreciate why physical activity is essential for health and sporting performance. Immediate, acute effects of exercise. Effects on the cardiovascular system, heart and blood vessels. 1. Increased heart rate, HR. At rest, approximately 60 to 80 beats per minute, BPM. During exercise, can reach 200 BPM or higher in maximum effort. The heart rate increases even before exercise begins, in anticipatory rise due to adrenaline release. Heart rate response, linear increase with exercise intensity. 2. Increased stroke volume, SV. Stroke volume equals volume of blood ejected per heartbeat, 70 ml at rest, up to 110 to 130 milliliters during exercise. Increases due to more venous return to heart, greater filling of ventricles, stronger contraction, Frank-Starling mechanism. 3. Increased cardiac output, CO equals HRX SV. Cardiac output equals heart rate x stroke volume. At rest, 5 liters/minute, during maximum exercise, up to 20 to 25 liters/minute. This dramatically increases oxygen and nutrient delivery to exercising muscles. 4. Redistribution of blood shunting, vascular shunting. At rest, digestive organs and kidneys receive a larger share of blood. During exercise, blood is redirected to working muscles, up to 80 to 85% of cardiac output, and skin, for cooling. Digestive organs, kidneys, and non-essential areas receive less blood, precapillary sphincters constrict. This is controlled by the vasomotor center in the medulla oblongata. 5. Increased blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure increases with exercise intensity. Diastolic pressure remains stable or may decrease, because arterioles in working muscles dilate, reducing peripheral resistance. 6. Increased venous return. Working muscles compress veins, muscle pump, deep breathing helps, respiratory pump. Adrenaline causes vasoconstriction of veins, squeezing blood back to heart. The effects on the respiratory system. 1. Increased breathing rate. At rest, 12 to 16 breaths per minute. During exercise, 40 to 60 breaths per minute, can go higher in maximum effort. 2. Increased tidal volume. Tidal volume equals amount of air per breath. At rest, 0.5 liters, during exercise, up to 3 liters per breath. 3. Increased minute ventilation, breathing rate x tidal volume. At rest, 6 liters/minute, during maximum exercise, up to 150 liters/minute. 4. Increased oxygen uptake, VO2. More oxygen extracted from each breath of air. VO2 marks the maximum amount of oxygen the body can consume per minute, the gold standard measure of aerobic fitness, measured in ml/kg/min. 5. Increased CO2 removal. Exercising muscles produce more CO2. Elevated CO2 in blood stimulates the chemoreceptors to increase breathing rate. C. Effects on the muscular system. 1. Increased muscle temperature. Increased metabolic rate, speeds up enzymatic reactions, reduces muscle viscosity, improves contraction speed. 2. Increased oxygen consumption, more ATP needed, more oxygen extracted from hemoglobin. 3. Increased myoglobin use, myoglobin stores oxygen in muscle, used early in exercise. 4. Increased muscle blood flow, capillaries dilate, more oxygen and glucose delivered. 5. Buildup of metabolic waste, lactic acid, CO2, heat accumulate, contributes to fatigue. D. Effects on the energy systems. As exercise intensity increases, energy systems switch. Low-intensity exercise, primarily aerobic. High-intensity short burst, ATP-PCR system. High-intensity sustained, anaerobic glycolysis. Moderate sustained, aerobic. Oxygen debt, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, EPOC. After exercise, breathing remains elevated, the EPOC, to restore phosphocreatine stores. Remove lactic acid, convert to glucose in liver, co-recycle. Lower body temperature. Restore oxygen to myoglobin and hemoglobin. It affects on the nervous system. Increased motor unit recruitment, more muscle fibers activated. Improved neuromuscular coordination with warm-up. Release of endorphins, natural pain relievers, create runner's high, feeling of euphoria during prolonged exercise. Thermoregulation, a temperature control. Core body temperature rises during exercise. Body cools by sweating, evaporative cooling, most efficient, vasodilation of skin blood vessels, radiative cooling. In Nigeria's hot, humid climate, sweating is the primary cooling mechanism. Dehydration is a major risk. Exercising in Nigerian afternoon heat, 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, high humidity significantly increases cardiovascular strain. Long-term, chronic, adaptations to regular exercise. Cardiovascular adaptations. 1. Cardiac hypertrophy, athlete's heart. Heart becomes larger and stronger, especially left ventricle wall thickens. Greater stroke volume at rest and during exercise. Result, lower resting heart rate, bradycardia, in trained athletes. Elite endurance athletes may have resting HR of 40 to 50 bpm versus 60 to 80 bpm in untrained. Professional Nigerian footballers and athletes typically have lower resting heart rates. 2. Increased plasma volume, blood volume increases, more oxygen-carrying hemoglobin available. 3. Increased capillary density, more capillaries in skeletal muscles, more efficient oxygen delivery. 4. Decreased resting heart rate, result of increased stroke volume, each beat is more efficient. 5. Improved vasodilation and blood pressure regulation. More elastic blood vessels. Lower resting blood pressure. Reduced risk of hypertension, high blood pressure, a major killer in Nigeria. B. Respiratory adaptations. 1. Increased lung capacity and tidal volume. 2. Stronger respiratory muscles, the diaphragm, intercostals. 3. More efficient oxygen exchange, improved diffusion capacity. 4. Increased VO2 max, the most important fitness adaptation. C. Muscular adaptations. 1. Hypertrophy, muscle fibers grow larger with strength training. 2. More mitochondria in muscle fibers, endurance training produce more ATP aerobically. 3. Increased myoglobin content, more oxygen storage in muscles. 4. Increased glycogen storage, more fuel available. 5. Increased enzyme activity, more aerobic and anaerobic enzymes, faster ATP production. 6. Increased muscle strength, power, and endurance. D. Skeletal adaptations. 1. Increased bone density, weight-bearing exercise stimulates osteoblasts, stronger bones. 2. Thicker articular cartilage, better joint cushioning. 3. Stronger tendons and ligaments, improved tensile strength, reduced injury risk. E. Body composition adaptations. 1. Reduced body fat, exercise increases caloric expenditure, over time reduces fat mass. 2. Increased lean muscle mass, with strength training. 3. Improved body mass index, BMI, healthier weight maintained. F. Metabolic adaptations. 1. Improved insulin sensitivity, muscles use glucose more efficiently, lowers risk of type 2 diabetes, a growing epidemic in Nigeria. 2. Improved lipid profile, exercise raises HDL, good cholesterol, and lowers LDL, bad cholesterol, reduces risk of heart disease. G. Psychological effects. 1. Improved mental health, reduced anxiety, depression, improved self-esteem. 2. Improved sleep quality. 3. Stress relief. Exercise reduces cortisol, stress hormone. 4. Improved cognitive function. Increased blood flow to brain, improved concentration and memory. Health benefits of regular exercise for Nigerians. Reduced risk of NCDs, non-communicable diseases, cardiovascular disease, number 1 killer in Nigeria, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, some cancers. According to WHO, physical inactivity is one of the leading causes of non-communicable disease in Nigeria. Nigeria National Physical Activity Guidelines: adults should aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week. School PE programs. NERDC curriculum mandates physical education from primary through secondary school to instill lifelong physical activity habits. WAEC exam tips. 1. Acute versus chronic effects. Acute equals immediate during/just after exercise, chronic equals long-term adaptations from regular training. 2. Cardiac output formula, CO equals heart rate x stroke volume, rest 5L/min, maximum exercise 20-25L/min. 3. Blood shunting, during exercise, blood redirected from digestive organs to working muscles, up to 80-85%, controlled by vasomotor center. 4. EPOC, oxygen debt post-exercise, elevated breathing to restore PCR, remove lactic acid, lower temperature. 5. Long-term cardiovascular, cardiac hypertrophy, lower resting HR, bradycardia, increased stroke volume, increased capillary density, lower blood pressure. 6. Long-term muscular, hypertrophy, more mitochondria, more myoglobin, increased glycogen storage. 7. VO2 max, maximum oxygen consumption per minute, gold standard for aerobic fitness. 8. Anticipatory rise, heart rate increases before exercise begins, adrenaline. Summary. Acute effects of exercise: increased HR, SV, cardiac output, blood shunting to working muscles, increased breathing rate and tidal volume, increased temperature, epoch after exercise. Long-term cardiovascular, cardiac hypertrophy, lower resting HR, increased stroke volume, increased capillary density, lower blood pressure. Long-term muscular, hypertrophy, more mitochondria, more myoglobin, increased glycogen, stronger tendons/ligaments. Long-term skeletal, increased bone density, stronger tendons/ligaments. Metabolic, improved insulin sensitivity, less diabetes risk, improved lipid profile, reduced body fat. Psychological, improved mental health, sleep, stress relief, cognitive function. Health benefits: reduced NCDs, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hypertension, major Nigerian health concerns. Powered by Lightech Academy, academy.lightech.com.ng. NECO-approved SS1 Physical Education.